Hello and welcome to Midnight Scribes Creative Vibes, where we speak to the best of the bronies and discover what makes them tick. I have been working hard lately, fillies and gentlecoats. It's true. It amazes the masses the level of weightlifting I can do here at the Creative Vibes studio. I'm doing some right now actually. I'm such a show off. I lift up the muffin, I eat the muffin, and then I put down the muffin. And then I do that 200 more times. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant exercise regime. But I'll leave that for just now and focus on someone who is truly working hard. And I'm not just saying that because he's one of the team. This guy, I swear, he may not be a household name or horse famous or any such thing, but he is a busy bee behind the scenes. I guarantee by the time you finish watching this episode, he'll have taken on another half dozen assignments and collaborations. I am so glad we finally managed to nail him down for an interview. It's a delight to welcome Rocky Harmony to the studio. Rocky, how are you doing?
Hello, thank you for having me on from not behind the scenes this time, so it's a bit different being on the other side.
No, indeed, it's certainly a little bit of a change for yourself. How does it feel to be here among the sunshine and out of the out of the back rooms?
Let's see, I can see the light.
Oh, listen, like that's just the fan outside. Don't worry, we don't like there's light in this studio. I mean, honestly, no, that wouldn't happen.
Is,
Oh no,
let's see, what's this thing called a sun?
I don't know. I'm Scottish. I'm afraid I don't know.
Let's see, weather-wise, actually here we've been skipping spring altogether. It's been sticking to winter.
Well, that's better than me. I mean, over here in Scotland, it has been alternating between summer, spring, and torrential. So it's a typical day here, I would say. Well, I tell you what, Rocky Harmony, you're always working on a new project, a new collaboration, something behind the scenes. I mean, it doesn't seem like you ever get a chance to rest.
Let's see, I do not understand this concept called rest. Actually, yeah, I do. I do make sure I take some breaks and get to have some time for myself. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping myself quite busy with either a project for other other people, for you guys, for example, or with Florida Rose. I'm doing artwork, music, writing scripts. I'm doing just about everything except for what I should be doing for myself.
I know. Well, that's one thing that when I've spoken about you with other people on the Creative Vibes team, I mean, the same things come up. You're always busying yourself with doing things, but then kind of we don't understand how you do it. Like we're pretty convinced there's a spreadsheet somewhere, possibly in your head, of all the things you've got to do and how you actually categorize it. I mean, it must be a nightmare trying to fit that all in. Where do you get the energy?
Let's see. Well, now that I'm done with college, I've got a ton of free time.
Oh, so you
So that
finished.
definitely helps.
Oh, so you finished the education now then?
Indeed, I have graduated college with a degree in business management, and then I actually need to start taking some more classes, not really college wise, but I'm looking at a company called Hammerspace, which it's a community workshop that's here in Kansas City and a few other places around the state or around the country actually. Let's see, they're really fascinating. They offer classes to learn actual trades and learn how to do stuff. So it's a community workshop for people to come and build things. So you can even run your business through them. They got everything from saws, lasers, or laser cutters, 3D printers, everything that you can need to build something. Yeah, I'm gonna go through them to learn the trade that I want to get into, which is a luthier, which is someone who builds guitars. So that's what I want to do with my future. I want to build guitars.
Well, I mean, I certainly know that you're a bit of a musician. I mean, you've done music for our channel before and for other people as well. So, is that like your main passion then?
Let's see. It really, I need to get back into playing music. Actually, I had to stop while going through college because I didn't have the time, and now I'm having trouble getting back into it. So I need to get hopping onto that.
Well, what kind of music do you enjoy then? What kind of music do you gravitate towards?
Let's see. I've really seen what kind of music I like change over time. let's see. Most recently, I've been introduced to the style of metal and stuff like that. So, and it's actually become my favorite style of music now. Generally, I like just about everything from country, rock, metal. The only thing I don't care for is rap, which I definitely respect the skill that goes into performing that kind of music. I just don't really like it. For one thing, it has a lot of stigma about the kind of topics that they go on with in those kind of music.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, it's certainly not for everyone, and I can certainly understand that. But I mean, talking about actually, you say you're a musician and so on, but you're also an artist. You do voice work for any number of friends. Like I know you collaborate with Dark Horse OC all the time, and we had her, of course, on the debut of the season actually, and you were actually in for a bit of that episode as well. So you've had a little teaser of being a guest, just like a little teaser,
Yeah,
little.
just a little teaser. Yep, I've done quite a bit of voice work actually. I've gone through musical theater for over 10 years. So I definitely got experience doing voice work. So it's been a lot of fun too. I've played roles like I've had let's see, it'd be hard to pick some favorite roles here, but I've held roles like the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz or Mr. Tumnus from wait no, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That's it.
Sorry. Yeah, that's it. Getting people and things mixed up here.
Oh, listen, no, don't worry about it. It's but still, I mean, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, absolute classic there. And I must admit, I can't imagine like when you say you were Mr. Tumnus. By that, do you mean like was it like a stage production?
Yes, stage production, musical. So
Please,
pretty much,
did you have? Sorry, I have to ask. Did you have like the center, like the legs and the stuff?
oh yeah, let's see. I should send you a photo, which it's buried somewhere in my phone. But yes, I had everything. The legs. And say I had special, or not really. There was just hooves that would cover my shoes, but I would still stand up in such a way that it looks like I had actual fawn legs.
Well, I'll tell you what, we need. I just know there's a section of the audience who are into Amphro Tons who are going to be going absolutely crazy at that revelation. So I'm sure there'll be fan art done of it before we realize what's happened.
Yes, I will have to send a photo. I'll have to find it though, but I'll send it to you.
Oh, definitely, no. I would love to see that. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, you do so many different types of projects, and like the thing is, you're very much behind the scenes guy. Even though you do a lot of stuff in the front as well. Like you said, you do the voice acting, you've done music, and you've done art, you've done speed paints for a channel and for your own as well.
Yeah, I'm
But
very creative.
yeah, listen. No one will argue with that. You are extremely creative, and you do a lot of different things. What I suppose I'm curious to ask, and particularly for those who don't know about you, is how would you describe yourself to the fandom? I mean, who is Rocky Harmony?
Well, let's see. As of right now, not really doing much because I'm forced to because my computer is dead. Yeah, my computer's been dead for almost a year now, which is sad. I haven't been able to upload anything. But to actually answer your question, let's see. I know for my guitar business, I was wanting to have my own YouTube channel. So being becoming a MLP reviewer, which was encouraged by friends of mine who are already reviewers, like Dark Horse KC, Mad Munchkin. So they actually got me into it. So I figured, you know what, this is something fun. Friends are already doing it. They can help me out. Figure out what things I could do. But it would provide a chance for me to actually practice generally how to do things, but also have fun along the way. So, again, I'm not the person that's doing it for fame or anything like that. I say I'm just having fun, though I am still trying to find my own way on how to do things. But it's hard when the computer's not working.
But I tell you what, speaking actually of bad luck, actually, I know recently actually you had a bit of a car accident, and I just want
Oh
to ask,
yes.
how are you coping? And secondly, was Derby behind the wheel?
Let's see. Thankfully, no, Turpin was not behind the wheel because I'm sure we would be flying at that point and things would be a lot worse. But now, yeah, at about on the 12th of April, yeah, I was the passenger, right front passenger in a vehicle versus vehicle collision. So luckily the speeds weren't too high because we were going down a side road or it was a main road, but I don't know what the speed limit was on the road. I was the passenger, so I wasn't paying attention. But I was actually I was on I was working at the time, so my manager was driving what I work at a company called Chuck E. Cheese's, so we had a fundraiser going on, so we were taking the character Chucky to go visit the school, which I was dressed as the character Chucky at the time. Which, by the way, I that's another job that I do. So I am a professional character performer. So yeah, that's another thing I can add to my resume.
Oh yeah, and listen, you're creative both in and out of the fandom. I mean, hey, listen, you work for Chuck E. Cheese, you know, so you can't get more creative in the in the food entertainment industry than that. I mean, obviously, put to one side the fact that now whenever anyone thinks of Chuck E. Cheese, they now immediately think of a big giant brown bear with a top hat and gnashing teeth.
Yep, you're welcome. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were on the way back to the store. We were going through an intersection. We had the green light. A red vehicle, suddenly rushed into a left turn in front of us. So I'm assuming it was either trying to catch the light or was following behind someone. But yeah, there was no avoiding that collision. So we hit at a um, deflecting angle. So his vehicle ended up facing the opposite direction he was traveling. And then, let's see, we were just knocked to the side a little bit. See, injury wise, me and my manager were able to walk away, though we definitely felt everything over the next couple of weeks leading on. But yeah, we were able to walk away. The driver, I don't know what his condition was like, but um, his own left front passenger, I mean, right front you know, I'm sorry, I'm talking with you guys. I'm getting placements confused again here. I'm sure, after the accident, I'm sure I'm fine. Trust me, I'm sure I'm fine.
I was just about to say, like, you know, your body might be fine, your brain, I'm not entirely sure about at the moment. But
I'm
that's,
starting to wonder that too. But
oh,
yeah, his passenger had the worst out of all of us because he got knocked out at impact. He did later regain consciousness and was able to walk to the ambulance, but he was definitely taken to the hospital. I myself, I'd made sure I got checked out by the EMTs to be on the safe side, but I felt well enough that I didn't need to go to the hospital. I did definitely go see the doctor 2 days later and got diagnosed with a chest contusion, which is pretty much some internal bruising. And other than that, I'm just visiting the chiropractor for physical therapy to get myself built back up to where I was before the accident, which is still a pretty messed up state on its own. So,
oh, listen, like, I'm sure you'll get better, and for everyone else who's involved in the accidents, our thoughts are with them. We hope that they'll make a speedy recovery. And
indeed.
but it's glad that you've actually made it and you're doing all right and you're back on form. And you know, and it's great to have you back as part of the Helm Bronies as well, back for doing content with us. Well, admittedly, once your PC gets back in its legs as well.
Oh,
But
I cannot wait to have my computer working again. There's so many things I've been wanting to do. For one thing, thankfully, my laptop allows me to draw, so I'm not completely useless.
oh yeah, at least you get to do a few things at least. But actually, and speaking of the drawing, I mean, like I mentioned, you do speed paints for the Helm Bronies. But I actually can't remember how you actually got involved with us because I mean, just for those who don't know, the Helm Bronies are a community group based in the Highlands of Scotland, and unless you're slightly deaf, you might have realised that Rocky Harmony does not sound very Scottish.
And yes, I am not very Scottish, at
Don't get me
least as
wrong,
far as I know.
you've got the spirit, but you know it's. I've always wondered because I mean I think when you joined up, I was kind of on the periphery of the group at that time. I think it was before. Was it before Creative Vibes was a thing? It might have been.
Let's see. I was gonna make a joke there, but nope. I'll be nice today.
Oh yes,
I'm the
please be
guest
nice.
after all.
Yeah, exactly. You're the guest, and Sugar Dove is editing, so don't even think of
No,
trying
I
anything.
I should not tempt fate. I'm already injured enough. Let's see. That is actually a really good question. I'm trying to remember how did I get started with you guys. I know it was actually Matt Munchkin, a good friend of mine. Well, now a good friend, but when I first came across her, she's the one that got me started drawing in the first place. So I have a lot to thank her for. Let's see. I shortly after meeting her and getting introduced to her, I got introduced to Lurker Cat, and I think it may have been through her that I got introduced to you guys.
That may well be right, actually, because yeah, of course, Lurker Cat. She used to be
Yeah,
a member of our
she
team.
she used to be a member.
But yeah, because for those of you who are long-time Creative Vibes fans, we interviewed her, I believe, on the second episode of the show, and she did a lot of the season one and a bit of the season two artwork as well. And she's doing absolutely fantastic just now. We catch her every once in a while. She's on great form. But it's yeah, no, it's interesting. Of course, that would have been yeah, that would have been early days of Creative Vibes, or even before then, that you actually came on the scene. Because obviously the High on Bronies has kind of morphed and changed, particularly since 2015. So it's we've
Yeah,
certainly grown arms and legs.
it was definitely pretty early on. So somehow or another, I got introduced to more and more of you guys, and I believe yeah, somewhere down the line, you guys said we're needing help with stuff, so I volunteered, and I've been stuck with you ever since.
Yes, indeed, we have been stuck together ever since. And actually, you just basically admitted there. We asked for help, you came in and helped out, and you do that for so many people as well. Like you're always taking on a new project, you're always finding something else to do. So like, what sort of things are kind of coming up in the near future that you're actually working on?
Let's see, I got quite a few projects lined up right now, which eventually I am going to do more than just MLP related stuff, of course, but it's been a fantastic starting point. As for what projects I got going on right now, I actually have my very first commission ever, which is very exciting. Now, I'm not officially open for commissions, but this is a friend that was asking if I could do one. So I said yes, because this would be an opportunity for me to actually practice and figure out what it is I would do or would want to do. So it's been a great opportunity for me. So for her, I am drawing a 4 panel comic. Let's see, it's a MLP slash Cuphead crossover. Her OC is performing at a grand theater while Keen Dice falls in love with her voice. And for added fun, each of the panels is going to be drawn in the style of a celluloid film strip to represent the old style films and cartoons.
Ooh.
And then other than that, here I got actually a couple of trades and collabs going on. Let's see here. I got I think at least three other projects that I owe people from yeah either collaborating with them or an art trade. So I got a lot going on, and then there's plus all the video and art projects of my own that I want to do as well.
So what projects of your own are you actually aiming to do then once you actually finally get a bit of free time?
Yes, SEL. Some of the stuff I'll actually need my computer to work to be able to do it here, but one of the big things I wanted to do, this is something I actually did a panel on last year with Canterlot KC that I was also helping out. I was a staff member with them, which that's an MLP convention, by the way, that just started last year. So yeah, that's another group I'm helping out with. Let's see, how many groups is that now? But yeah, let's see. I actually hosted my very first panel, which was let's see, what was the panel about? It was about how to stand out. So pretty much it was for those who want to create content of any kind, is tips on how you can help yourself improve, but also stand out among the crowd. So uh, I actually ended up over preparing for my first panel ever. So things went pretty well as for a first panel ever could. Let's see. I'd like to, since I never got to cover all the topics I wanted to in the panel, I wanted to make it my own full video for my channel that covers all those topics. So I'll have all the time in the world to do that. And then, let's see, another big project of mine, which I've been trying to come up with how I wanted to do my own reviews in my own special way, because I noticed there's a certain formula that a lot of reviewers or let's say I can't think of the other word, but yeah, reviewers follow, which it works, but I want to see if I can also find my own way of doing things too.
Well, everyone wants to find their own voice and how they actually go about a certain project. I mean, I can certainly identify with that with the stuff I do outside of the High on Bronies. So it's it's about it's that old I call it the James Bond adage. I remember seeing an interview with I think it was a script. No, it wasn't the scriptwriter. It was the director of Moonraker, Lewis Gilbert, and he was talking about how the plot for Moonraker was basically the same as The Spy Who Loved Me, which was basically the same as You Only Live Twice. And he basically went, the trick with James Bond is to do the same thing, but to do it different.
Yep, yeah, the formula they do, it works fantastic. So I just count it as a building block. So it's a way for you to start and then build yourself up.
Exactly. Find your own voice, find what you like, build off it, find your own voice, your own personality, and it'll grow arms and legs from there.
Yeah, another project I had in mind that I actually want to try and make my very own animation as well. So it's going to be my OC versus a smoke dragon. So that's something I'm hoping to work on. So I'm literally going to be drawing each frame by hand. So it'd be sort of a traditional style of animation. Don't know. Of course, with my skill, it'll be probably more of an animatic, but it's close enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's worth a shot. You've got to start from somewhere, and that'll be absolutely exciting to see once it does come out. And I have to cut you off there because I know we've only got a couple minutes left, and I have a couple more questions I need to ask you actually
Ah, yes.
before. Because
Yes.
once again,
Ask
I
away.
knew we would be waffling. I knew that we would waffle. I knew this would happen. So this is why I'm making sure we intervene before we run out of time. Because
Yes, ask
as
away. Ask away.
yes, well, we've always in every episode of Creative Vibes we have the same standard questions we like to ask, which is of course based around the show we all love, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show. And I don't know, I did it in that voice, but I like that. That sounds great. Uh, and we're going to start off with the first question, which is, what's your favorite character?
Rainbow Dash. I don't know why. She just is.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, look, Rainbow Dash is an absolutely cool pony. You can hardly complain about that whatsoever. We actually did a poll about that on the Broy Scott page actually recently about that,
Yeah.
which I noticed you answered and I answered and a fair few people have answered,
I
which is
answered
absolute.
twice.
You answered twice. You
Yes.
cheater! You cannot have two favorites. That is not allowed.
It's on two separate pages, so I answered the same answer on both.
Oh right. Oh well, that's fair enough then. That's fair enough. That's fine. There's me thinking you were
So it's
actually trying to.
technically not cheating.
No, no, that's fine. If you have the same answer on both, that's fine. But okay, so you've got Rainbow Dash. What about your favorite
Okay,
episode?
favorite episode? That's a tough question there. Let's see. I would have to say, read it and weep. Not for really any particular reason, but just because it was the first episode that I ever watched and what actually hooked me onto the show and what has led on to a fantastic several years for me. I got multiple friends now. Let's see. I could go on and on, but it would run you guys over time.
Well, no worries. Well, at least we know the episodes and so on. But it's actually going to the nitty gritty stuff, which is that I think you briefly touched on it earlier on. But how did you actually become a fan of MLP, and what kind of then yanked you into becoming a part of the fandom and being a creator?
Let's see. Well, again, I heard the show came out, so and I heard good things about it, so that was rather surprising to me. So thought I would go ahead and check it out myself. We recorded a few episodes, and the first one I watched was "Read It and Weep." So, and right then and there, I was hooked with the show because, as we all know, the quality of the story writing, the characters, everything about it was you such a huge step above from the previous generation. So I decided to watch some of the other episodes starting from the very beginning this time. And then, yeah, I liked the show ever since. Yeah, and came across videos on YouTube here, started watching those. That's how I actually came across Mad Munchkin, which her first video I ever watched was Why I Hate Alicorn OCs. So I was kind of curious what she had to say about that. So, yep. So, and then, yep, that's how I got introduced to her. So started watching her. I learned that she was an artist. So I decided to take a leap of faith and commission her because this would be rather fascinating. So I commissioned her for a very special piece called Battle of the Bands, Battle of the Bands, which is I had her draw Rainbow Dash versus Tails the Fox, which was at the time my favorite character, dueling each other with guitars. So I kind of consider them both now my favorite characters. I can have two favorite characters. Can I count my OC as a third favorite character?
You could, but I guarantee you it will be getting deleted in the edit. No, no, it won't be that cruel. No, Rocky Harmony is allowed. That's fine. It's not egotistical. Oh, well, and even if
Of
it
course not.
was, I wouldn't care because I'm Midnight Scribe and you're competing against me.
Ooh, let's see. There's a poll: Midnight Scribe or Rocky Harmony.
Oh well, listen, like I've got the sass, but you've got the fans. I think really it's going to lean your way a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to round back to the previous topic just because there's one final question I wanted to ask, and
Yes.
I've asked this every season to every guest, or near enough every guest, and, beforehand it wasn't a topical question. Now, in recent months, it certainly has become a topical question for various reasons, and that is, what is your opinion on the fandom?
Let's see. My opinion of the fandom is, for the majority of it, is really positive. I absolutely love everything about it. Been a fantastic community. It has helped me actually a lot immensely. You Not really with any problems I've had, 'cause those will always be there. I mean, I'm stuck with you guys. I mean, what?
Oh yes, yes. How nice, how kind of
Yes,
you.
yes. I'm
Are you wanting a good edit on this show, by the way? Because I've got pool. I can ask Sugar Dove to edit this really badly for you.
Yep, she has the power. Let's see. But yeah, what this fandom has done for me, it's not only helped me reconnect with old friends that I thought I'd lost contact with, like Dark Horse KC, for example, but it's also led to so many other friendships of mine that will have been absolutely wonderful. I got friends now in Scotland, of course. Let's see, Australia, Poland, the Netherlands, Russia. I could go on. So, yeah, really, the fandom for the most part has been absolutely fantastic. There's, of course, been the areas with drama, but I really ignore that because it's not really important. So,
Well, that's fair enough. That's certainly one way to look at it, and I'm glad to see that your experiences have been positive and you're able to reconnect with the likes of Dark Horse. Which, by the way, Dark Horse, if you're watching, hello there. I hope you're doing well. I will message you very soon because I need to
and
because I'm useless with staying in contact with people. I am horrible, so I need someone to just whack me over the head and say, "Stay in contact midnight."
oh, I can work on that. I'll go get something to whack you with.
Fantastic. You get a mallet. I'll stay here and look pretty. Right. We're but we shall wrap up the show here just now. Which, firstly, thank you so much, Rocky, for coming on the show. It has been a delight, as I expected. I knew it would be fantastic. And despite any technical issues and train issues, we seem to have done all right.
Yeah, see, thank you for letting me come out of the shadows.
Oh, listen, no problem at all. We're looking forward to seeing you go back to the shadows after this episode.
I think that's become the silent partner once again.
Exactly, exactly. No, but no, in all seriousness, it's been so much fun having you on. Thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to ask as well, where can we send people to find you and what you're up to?
Yes. By the way, I need to actually come up, or I'm actually going to be asking my friend Casey to put together a video for me to explain. I can post to YouTube explaining why I've had a forced hiatus. But yes, I have a YouTube channel, an official Facebook page, and then I my own DeviantArt that I post all my artwork to. So I will provide links for all three of those. Yeah, the Facebook page will I try to keep people up to date on things. Let's see, YouTube channels for shenanigans of all kinds, and then DeviantArt is for all the art, good or bad, that I want to share with everyone.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. Well, we will put all those links in the description below so you'll be able to check out Rocky Harmony and see what he gets up to when he's not doing stuff for us. Please do, he is absolutely fantastic. But we shall wrap up the show there just now, my friends. My thanks to Rocky Harmony for being our guest this week. My thanks to you guys for watching. And if you want to get in contact with us, if you've got constructive criticism, have you got praise, are you a creator in a fandom or outside the fandom who'd perhaps like to be interviewed, get in contact with us, show us what you've got. We'd love to hear it. And of course, you can get in contact with us in all sorts of different avenues. I mean, we have our Facebook, we have our Twitter, we have a Tumblr, we have, what else do we have? We have a YouTube. You're watching our video here right now. You can comment. We've got an email address, which I believe is highlandbronies@hotmail.com. There are all sorts of different ways to get in contact. Feel free to. We love to get your messages. But we shall wrap up the show there just now. Once again, thank you all for watching this episode of Creative Vibes. And the final word from Midnight Scribe is, as always, please subscribe.